Well, good afternoon, Missio Dei Falcon. It's good to be with you again for this week's video, 3 Things to Know announcements. The first thing we want to talk about this week is on the evening of Wednesday, May 20th, we are going to have a church-wide prayer gathering. So we are going to all jump on a Zoom call together, as many of us as want to, and we're going to just spend some time praying for our community, praying for our church, praying for those we know that are in need, praying for the decision makers in our state and in our country, and praying for a cure to this virus, all the different things that we can pray for. We're going to do that together for about an hour on the evening of Wednesday, May 20th. We would love for you to join. We'll send out a link with how to do that here as it gets closer. The second thing is re-entry. As you know, things are opening up again. Things are starting to come out of lockdown. And during the season of re-entry, we want to continue to remind each other to show each other grace and love in the middle of this, because there's going to be lots of different opinions about how to best do re-entry. And so we're looking into everything that we can as a church to best prepare for this season of re-entry. There's not a lot of information coming from the state yet as far as what that looks like, as far as a legal gathering goes. We're still waiting to hear from the school and whether or not we'll be able to get into the building in June, the beginning of June or not. So for now, through May, we're going to keep it on the YouTube channel with the Sunday morning worship. And we've looked into other things like meeting outside and maybe doing outdoor church, and that technically isn't allowed under the current lockdown order from the governor. So we're trying to be creative and figure out how we can best embrace this season and keep the gatherings and the emotional connection that we have with each other together. So continue to pray for everyone involved in these decisions, that we would have wisdom and know how to best serve and love one another. The last thing I wanted to point our attention to is this idea of the art of neighboring. It's a book written by Dave Runyon a few years ago, and it's a fantastic resource when it comes to how you can be missional, how you can love your neighbors that don't yet know Jesus. And the premise of the book is let's take the great commandment seriously, this idea of loving your neighbor as yourself. And if we really do that, we can have a big impact on our neighborhood. So we've been talking about prayer walking and how during the nice weather, getting outside, walking up and down your streets, praying for your neighbors. And now we're saying let's just take that a little step further. So what this book, Art of Neighboring, recommends is if you think of your house as in the middle of a tic-tac-toe board, we all have neighbors that are beside us, across the street, behind our house. And if you just fill in that tic-tac-toe board with their names, how you can pray for them and what ways you can tangibly love them. And if we all do that intentionally, just think of your house in the middle of the city, and then if all of us are doing this well, that it would have a big impact on all our neighborhoods and our communities. And so as we continue this season of trying to be missional with our neighbors and love them well, this is a great tool of just thinking of your house as the middle of that tic-tac-toe board and asking Jesus to show you ways to love all the other houses around you and get to know your neighbors. Maybe you've never met them. Go knock on their door, introduce yourself, keep 6 feet away, right? We want to be social distancing, all of that stuff, but just see how you can love them and help them and really take this season seriously and be intentional with how you can love them. So recap, prayer night, Wednesday, May 20th at 7 o'clock. We will send out a link to get more information about that. As we re-enter, keep praying for wisdom and grace for everyone involved in this. Keep showing grace to people that disagree with you. And then Art of Neighboring, love your neighbors well. So love you guys, and we'll hope to see you soon.